Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. To us, OC stands for our community because we believe that our community is stronger when we come together. We thank you for joining us each Tuesday evening on channel 56.10 and on Wednesday morning. As you know, this is a bilingual English and Vietnamese program dedicated to educating, empowering, and inspiring our community. And today on our show we have Rosie, Tran, and Keith Razen. These are two comedians who bring so much joy in our life. Hopefully they'll inspire you to laugh and live more. Julie kính chào quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV trong chương trình kiến thức y khoa gia đình và xã hội. Chương trình đây là chương trình OC Health and Education. Julie cảm ơn quý vị đã theo dõi chương trình mỗi thứ ba trên đài 56.10 lúc 7 giờ tối với sáng thứ tư. Chương trình đây là chương trình rất là quan trọng. Hôm nay Julie mời được hai người quý khách, đó là chị Rosie Tran and Keith Razen. Hai người đây là comedian. It's a career that every Vietnamese parents are proud for you to have, right, Rosie?
First of all, you have to go Rosie Chân.
Oh, Chân, đúng rồi.
You said it Americanized.
I know. Well, Rosie, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I am arguably actually the first Vietnamese American comedian in the world. So I started back in 2002, and I started doing some research on the internet archive, which shows the archive of everything online. And I don't have all the evidence yet, but I think I may be the first Vietnamese American comedian.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
I'm trying to see if like Guinness or someone can like certify me. Dat Fan, who's much more successful and popular than me as a comedian.
Success is relative.
I believe he started in 2000.
You're prettier though.
Oh, thanks.
He tries to grow his hair out to look pretty like you, right, Keith?
Yeah.
But I believe he started in 2003.
Okay.
So
And when did you start?
I started kind of bi-coastal in Los Angeles and New Orleans. I'm from New Orleans. I actually was part of the New Orleans Comedy Festival, which was in 1999.
Okay.
So I was just getting started. I was in high school at the time. So I don't want to reveal my age.
Now, who's this guy right next to you?
This is my co-headliner. We're doing a co-headlining show in Orange County. Keith Razen. He's one of my best friends in the entire world and one of the funniest guys I've ever known.
Nice to meet you, Keith.
Oh, thank you.
We've never met before.
No, not at all. But yeah, I was catching up on my Vietnamese, and I was going to translate what you were saying, but you didn't get the chance.
You tell her, say giỏi quá, because you know she's really good at this, right?
Yeah. She basically said, "How are you, Rosie? You look pretty," and she said, "Thank you for the flower."
Well, Keith, tell the audience then on LSTV who you are, because I know you, because to me, you're my friend.
Oh, yeah, we are friends. I'm Keith Razen, and I'm a comedian too. I haven't Googled or checked this, but I could be the first autistic comedian.
I think actually that might be true, Keith.
No, I don't know, but yeah. So yeah, and I do comedy to make people laugh, and to make everyone happy.
I think you're my first autistic comedian friend.
Oh yeah,
if that can be on the Guinness record.
That's for sure on the list. Yeah.
I think there might be one other autistic comedian before you, but you might be the second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up online and do some research. I'm very good at that.
Yeah.
You can be someone's sloppy second.
Robin Williams.
We're horrible. We're getting in trouble today. So today on our show, we're here to talk about laughter as medicine.
Yes.
Because a lot of people don't understand, why we need to laugh. But, during the pandemic, we had to laugh, right?
Yeah, I think laughter is not just the best medicine, but togetherness. So one of the most awesome things about experiencing live comedy is that you're there collectively with other people. And so that's a big release for people. It's just like sports. Sports is a big release for people, and comedy is a big release because you're letting out. So a lot of people don't actually know what comedy is. And I'm glad you had us on the show because I talk about this all the time. A lot of people are scared to laugh. They are worried about things being offensive, but that's actually what comedy is. So what you're talking about is the health of comedy. We're taking something dark, heavy, traumatic, painful, and we're making it light. That's where the term making light comes from.
Right.
You're removing the heaviness from it and you're releasing it. It's actually transformative and healthy.
It's transformative therapy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here, guys. Quý vị, hôm nay Julie muốn giới thiệu quý vị hai người comedian rất là nổi tiếng trong quận cao của mình, đó là chị Rosie Tran and Keith Razer. Keith Razer là một người comedian Julie theo dõi rất là nhiều, mà thường perform ở Rec Room ở thành phố Huntington Beach. Rosie Tran là cũng bây giờ là rất là nổi tiếng, cũng có cái show trên HBO với cái show gì nữa Rosie?
NBC,
NBC
and Hulu.
And Hulu. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, xin lỗi. So
my show on HBO.
Yeah, my Vietnamese isn't that good, so Keith is gonna take over, right, Keith?
Yeah. So basically, she said, Rosie, you never should have married your husband. You should have married me, and you know.
Keith là nổi tiếng với lại đặc biệt.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Rosie said, you know, she's single for all the ladies.
So, you know, for today, we really want people to know who you guys are. Because, you know, oftentimes when we bring people on the show, we bring medical professionals, elected officials, all of these leaders.
Yeah.
And today we have the leaders of comedy here. So tell me, Rosie, what does it feel like to be a comedian, and are your parents proud?
Ooh, tough question.
It's a Vietnamese-American cultural question.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
I think that my parents are proud of me because my parents are actually trailblazers, and I almost started crying in the parking lot of the Saigon TV because my dad was actually a regional editor of the Saigon News newspaper.
Okay.
And so seeing the Saigon News office, which is next to Saigon TV, I was very heartfelt and excited to be here and to make him proud. And I'm sure, you know, having arguably the first Vietnamese American comedian in their family is very special because my dad was also a very special person. He's passed away. And my mom was also a beauty queen. She was Miss Saigon in 1974. So I definitely have a family of trailblazers and entertainers.
Oh, well, thank you, Rosie. I don't know how I'm going to be able to translate all that, but I'll try my best. Quý vị, hôm nay Rosie muốn giới thiệu quý vị đó là cái công việc của Rosie là cũng một phần là cũng có bố mẹ hướng dẫn. And bố là rất là proud of Rosie, là thấy đó là hồi xưa bố cô của Rosie làm cho nhà báo, mà mẹ cũng là người Hoa hậu. Thì Rosie là made for the stage, là cũng là một người không có sợ đứng trước sân khấu với trình bày cho quý vị cái khả năng của Rosie với cái niềm thương của Rosie về cái comedy. Tại you know Rosie, I think when we are successful in what we do, we really have to give thanks and gratitude for the people who, first of all, brought us to this world, and also, you know, believed in us and support us. You know, so thank you so much for sharing that part of your life. Now, Keith, who inspired you to be a comedian?
Who inspired me? Wow. I would say my friend Norm MacDonald inspired me.
Okay.
And yeah.
You know, the last time you were on the show, we called Norm and text Norm and told him that you're on Little Saigon TV. He didn't believe you, huh?
Yeah, no.
Because he doesn't know you're Vietnamese famous.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. But yeah, that was good.
But bless his soul.
Yeah.
And he leaves such a beautiful legacy. And I know it's a torch that you're going to carry proudly and do him proudly.
Oh, I hope so. We'll find out on September 9th at the Rec Room in Huntington
Wait.
Beach.
What's September 9th?
Yeah, that's when Rosie Tran and I were doing the Rec Room in Huntington Beach.
Okay. So who's headlining?
We're
just kidding.
We're co-headlining.
We're co-headlining.
Usually when Rosie and I do these shows, it's usually I go first and then she goes.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and talk her into reversing it.
Let's reverse it.
But that's how we usually do it. But
let's reverse it.
yeah.
So September 9th?
Yeah, Friday, September 9th.
Okay, and what time do we have to wake up?
Well, you should wake up at 8 a.m. That's the healthy thing.
But the show is going to let you sleep in.
Yeah, the show's at 7 p.m.
It's at 7 p.m. and we hope that it will be sold out with all of the wonderful people of Orange County.
Yeah.
And it's always sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because you know you're so famous in the Vietnamese community, why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say that it's very special because when I first started comedy, and this is all seriousness, Rosie Tran was the first headliner to take me on the road.
Aww.
So I have like a very unique relationship with her. So when I work with her, I don't find it as work, I find it as fun.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, you better hold that thought because after the commercial break, we'll continue our conversation.
Sounds good.
Julie, cảm ơn quý vị khán giả ở Little Saigon TV. Hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với giới thiệu quý vị là Rosie, Tran and Keith Razer on the show và nói về laughter is the best medicine. Lúc mà mình cười, mình vui, đó là sức khỏe tâm thần của mình. Và hy vọng quý vị có để dành thời gian ngày thứ Sáu, lúc ngày 9 tháng 9, lúc 9 giờ tối at the Rec Room in thành phố Huntington Beach. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV.
Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình. 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. We're going to continue our conversation today with the world-renowned Rosie, Tran and Keith Razer. Okay, well, not world, maybe at least Orange County renowned.
Right, yeah.
Right? And so we're so excited that on September 9th, you guys are both going to co-headline. So, I'm so used to going to a comedy show where there's one person headlining. So you guys don't know who's better than whom?
Well,
I don't think anyone's better. Keith and I are just very different as comedians. Our style is very different. Our comedy is very different. And so I think we complement each other. And
so it's a package deal.
It's a package deal. Yeah.
Okay. Well, but Keith, thank you for reminding us that, Rosie is a person who really took you under, her wings when she's doing this. And for you to remind us that, being the first Vietnamese American comedian to really be successful in the community is something that we need to remind everybody that, when we have local talents that are going to be here, I think it's a good excuse for us to wake up early, like 7 p.m.
yeah,
and go to the rec room, right?
definitely, especially on a Friday. And it's kid-friendly, where like...
yeah, that's true. You can send your kids next door.
Yeah, like you could send them...
And we're not joking about it.
There's games.
Right.
It's basically an establishment, a kids' play center next door. So there's games, there's different activities kids can do while you go see the R-rated adult humor.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that's one thing is that, we're joking around so much, but in all seriousness, we have to remind the audience when we're serious that the rec room is actually a family-friendly venue.
Definitely.
That, it's attached to Glow Zone, right?
Yeah.
And so that's where they can do miniature golfing. There's a bowling alley. And there's also a bar for kids to hang out if they want to. Yeah. Well, the bar is a joke.
They serve chocolate milk. And,
right. But then attached to that is the rec room. And that's what you introduced me to, Keith. And so I just want to say thank you because, for me, I have depression, anxiety, autism, everything else under the sun. But really, comedy has really pulled me through my darkest times.
Yeah.
The last 5 years, I actually struggled. I was in a pretty dark place. And there's so many people like you and my mentors that really pulled me out. And, COVID is really hard for a lot of people. And, we do things because we didn't know what to do during the pandemic.
Right.
So I think this is a reminder to everybody that, COVID is relatively under control, that we all feel safe unmasked. And if you don't feel safe, you can mask. But I think the rec room and this show that's coming up, it's group therapy for us.
It is, and I'm glad that you mentioned group therapy because a lot of people don't know that, you're talking about laughter is the best medicine.
Yes.
It's literally medicine. When you laugh, endorphins are released in your brain.
Right.
Serotonin is released in your brain. And someone like...
Are you sure you're not a doctor? Right,
you can tell my parents.
She's Asian. She must be a doctor.
I was going to call her Dr. Tran.
Yeah, let's call her Dr. Tran. Dr. Tran.
You can tell my parents that. They will definitely be excited about that. But no, it's true. Laughter does bring that. And so I suffer from depression as well. Keith knows. Yeah. And what happens is, depression is caused by a myriad of things from trauma to chemical imbalances. It's different for everyone. But that serotonin release, just like exercising releases serotonin and endorphins, so does laughing.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for giving us the scientific part of it, Dr. Tran.
Yeah, Dr.
Now,
Tran.
Keith,
yes.
How has laughter and comedy helped you through the pandemic and even through your darkest times?
Well, comedy...
Do you have any dark times?
Oh, I'm out of all four of us here. Well, because there's a camera there. But
Because we have one person watching the show.
Right, yeah. I'm actually very honest about my depression, especially
I think we all three
on
are.
social media. I probably go overboard on it, but comedy is it's in my blood. So like, I
Yes.
could make something that's so depressed, I can make it funny.
Yes.
Like a joke that I do right now is my best friend died of cancer, and it's so sad. But the saddest part is I'm not going to get my $5,000 back. So like, that's how I use my humor.
Yeah.
Into doing that, and I've always been very talented on doing that because when I cry when I'm depressed, I think, hey, how do I make this funny so I can cry in positive vibes?
Yeah.
So that's how I was.
Well, Keith, I think that's very important, and I think what you're reminding us, it's really that transformation, because you can take something that's seemingly dark and find light in it.
Yeah.
For me, I always tell people that, you can always find a reason to smile. That's what I always say. We have a new tradition in our family. Unfortunately, we have about 6 successful suicides in my family, and none of my family members will ever talk about any one of them. Yeah. And I always talk about it in public, but I don't name them just out of respect. But we get to have this new tradition that during a funeral, we'll make each other laugh. And then after the funeral, we all take shots, and we just celebrate their life. So I just want to say thank you for reminding us that we can transform some of our experience and always find great pleasure in this. Now let's go back to the show. Right. When is the comedy show?
The comedy show is September 9th at 7 p.m. at the Rec Room in Huntington Beach, and it's going to be
But for the
so
Asian
fun.
families, you have to say it's next to 7 Leaves. Or next to the Golden West Swap Meet.
Yeah, Golden West Swap. I was going to say that.
Because you say Rec Room đâu có ai biết là đó gì đâu. Thưa quý vị, chú muốn giới thiệu quý vị là đã có một cái chương trình đó là the Rec Room ở thành phố Huntington Beach. Chừng nào quý vị không có quen về Rec Room là gần cái Golden West Swap Meet, cái chợ trời đó. And then cũng kế bên Seven Leaves. So Julie thấy đó là chừng nào quý vị có thời gian tới ủng hộ hai người bạn trẻ đây, đó là Keith Razer với Rosie Tran. Rosie Tran là một người Việt Nam là rất là thành công về công việc as a comedian. Giống như Julie với Rosie dẫn là người Việt Nam của mình, lúc mà mình có con, mình muốn họ là thành kỹ sư, bác sĩ hay gì đó. Julie, like I'm kind of a disappointment. I'm a speech pathologist. I'm not a doctor. Right. I'm not an attorney. I'm not an engineer. Yeah. So when I was young, my mom asked me, she says, what are you going to be when you grow up? I said, I'm going to be a speech therapist. And she says, what's a speech therapist? And in Vietnamese, I said, con chuyên môn ăn uống như nói chuyện. Can you translate to Rosie? Because I don't think she understands what that means.
So basically, growing up, Julie's mom asked, what are you going to be? And Julie says, speech therapist. And she's like, what?
But tell her the specialty. What do I do?
Oh, she translates speech.
But ăn uống nói chuyện.
She talks.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
eats.
I said I specialize in eating and talking.
Yeah.
And tell that to a Vietnamese parent, right? When you're going to a private school paying hundreds of $1,000s, And so that's one thing about it is that, I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of both of you guys. First of all, because you're such a great and amazing friend, for supporting all the great things that we do with OC Autism, for amplifying the voices of our families, and also making sure that people know that depression isn't that depressing sometimes. Right. When we come together. So once more, if you want to say it in Vietnamese and invite the community to come to the show, that's your camera right there, Keith.
I'm a little rusty, but I was just kidding. I don't know Vietnamese. but yeah, come to the show. It'll be fun. Rosie's a great comic, and not to brag, but I think I'm okay myself.
He's very funny, but the show is in English, sorry.
But and even if they don't understand English, they can come there and eat and have a few drinks and just still be merry, right? Yeah. And it's really that collective energy that we really need to pull through. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for being on the show. After the commercial break, we'll try to continue this boring conversation. Julie cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV đã theo dõi chương trình Kiến thức y khoa gia đình và xã hội. Sau vòng quảng cáo, chúng tôi sẽ tiếp tục nói chuyện với Keith Razer and Rosie Tran. Dr. Rosie Tran. Cảm ơn quý vị.
Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình. 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. On our show today, we have Keith Razer and Dr. Rosie Tran. Well, she's not really a doctor, she's a comedian. Here to talk about an upcoming event on September 9th. September 9th at the Rec Room. And for the Vietnamese audience, we said it's right next to
Golden West College Shopping Center.
I go to the Golden West swap meet, no shame.
Yeah.
You know, my husband said to me, you know what, you're famous now. You're Little Saigon TV famous. And so you shouldn't go to the swap meet anymore. Isn't it embarrassing? I go, no. I'll do autograph at the swap meet.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, I mean, I do autographs at Comic-Con, but yeah.
I've done a comedy show at a swap meet, so.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, the
That's
Santa
fine.
Fe Springs swap meet. It was in the middle of the cafeteria and everyone was just talking.
But you've moved on from there.
Yeah.
So tell me about, you know, some of the specials that we have that we can stream at home because we don't want to get up and get out.
Well, first of all, you have to get up and get out and go to the Rec Room and see us because live comedy is the best medicine. There's something different about watching something on a screen and being there live.
Right.
So I would encourage people, but if they can't
But the screen is just get a taste of who you are and what you can do.
So we both have specials. Keith's special is on YouTube and it's really, really funny. And it's also filmed at the Rec Room.
Yeah. I filmed it at the Rec Room.
And it's a very good special and it's free, right?
It is free.
It's free. And so is mine. It's on NBC Peacock and you just sign up for the app and it's free. You have to watch commercials, but it's free as well.
Okay.
And it's called the Hanoi Honey.
Hanoi Honey.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, fun.
With Rosie Tran.
Because my dad's from North Vietnam, so.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Tell us about your special.
My special, well, it's called Make It Happen, and I filmed it a year before the pandemic. Then the pandemic happened and it kind of like shut down the release dates and stuff. So it's actually being re-released in January by a better production thing. So it's going to be on DVDs and all that stuff. I don't know if people have DVDs anymore, but yeah, so it's going to get re-released. So I'm proud on that, so maybe more people could see it. And then I'm working on a new special that, yeah.
What's that?
It's basically like different material, but the same special.
Same guy, funnier jokes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just have to make sure the audience tune in.
Yeah.
Rosie hôm nay nhắc nhở quý vị đó là chừng nào quý vị muốn you know, được nếm được cái comedy show của Rosie Tran đó là phải nên tới the Rec Room, because lúc mà mình tham dự cái chương trình trong cái chương trình đây rất là vui, mà tại chừng nào có nhiều người gặp nhau, mình cười nhau, nó vui lắm, right Keith?
Right.
Vui mà khác giống như mình coi TV cái đó khác.
Yeah, tại được cho mình ngồi ở nhà đó, mình mình thấy nó khác, nó không có giống nhau, mà lúc mà mình có nhiều người cười nhau, uống nhau, nói chuyện nhau, ăn nhau, nó thấy là mình vui hơn mình ngồi ở nhà nữa, right Keith?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're taking the words right out of my mouth. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not sure how to explain it, because you know, when you watch comedy live, it's just almost like even a different person that you saw on YouTube.
It's a different person. I've seen my friends who are very hilarious comedians. I've seen their specials, and it's not as funny as them in real life because you don't feel the energy. You don't feel the vibe of that person.
You don't pee in your pants.
Except for my special.
Do they pee in their pants?
Yeah. If you watch my special on the TV, you'll pee your pants. But when you see me live, you'll ask for a refund.
No, I mean, I know when you headlined for us when we did the comedy show, you know, to Light It Up Blue, and you were there too. I have so many people calling me, and still to this day, saying, when are we doing it again?
Oh,
yeah.
You know, and we gotta do it again somehow.
Yeah.
You know, but I think, you know, what it is that when you have people with the same sense of humor, or the same focus, or the same passion, I think that's how we become successful. I know this event that's coming up is going to be successful because everybody here wants to see Keith, the Vietnamese comedian superstar.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, and then your sidekick here.
Sidekick.
Or your side chick.
Yeah, side chick. Yeah.
Did I say that wrong?
No. She's my sidekick. No, Rosie, like I said, Rosie's done a lot for me in my career, and she's the type of person who I've always looked at as the star, and then, like, I have a podcast, she, like, has the power to step it down to be the sidekick. So she's very, very talented and very special like that, because there's not a lot of people, especially when you're so used to being number one, she's willing to go to number 2.
I've been number 50 before too.
Yeah.
I will stand at Keith's shows and sell his merch for him and sell his lollipops. and
Yeah.
stuff.
So
Lollipops.
I used to sell lollipops.
He used to sell lollipops.
Okay. Definitely a comedian thing, right? You have to be there.
He says the money goes to autism, and it's him.
Yeah. And so I mean, I'm very.
Well, I'm just happy that you have at least one friend.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Because with autism and no joke, sometimes we have a hard time making friends. I know growing up in high school, I actually had only one friend, and I sat under this tree at Mark Keppel High School in front of the school, and when Stephanie wasn't there, I was a loner.
Yeah.
Are you from Monterey Park?
Yeah. And so I went to Mark Keppel High School. And, there was actually this group of girls, and they're the sweetest people. They would always, come over, bring me over, and they're my friend. Yeah. But I knew they weren't really my friend. I called them my pity friend. They just pity me. And so one day, my brother was in the hospital at Garfield Medical Center, and I see Michelle. I'm calling her out on public TV. Well, I see Michelle, and I said, "Hi, Michelle." And she's friends with me on Facebook, and she sees, like, the superstar Julie. But she forgot about the special needs autism Julie.
Right.
But I said hi to Michelle, and she says to me, "Do I know you?"
Oh my God.
And this is a girl that on Facebook, we're like, let's get together. Let's have a reunion.
Yeah.
But, all joking aside, autism is hard. I still struggle with my autism. I didn't get diagnosed until in my 40s. And I did it because my mental health was taking, a side turn. I'm trying not to say a bad word. But what it is that if you don't take care of your autism and you don't love your autism, it becomes anxiety, it becomes depression, it becomes suicidal ideations, and it's hard. But, we laugh so much today on our interview, and I get out of character because I'm usually a stiff on this show, but on this show with you guys, I get to be my normal autistic, goofy self, and in between I was telling you, I was like rocking a little bit, I have to catch myself and not rock. Sometimes I twiddle and do repetitive behaviors, but I don't see that until I rewatch some of my show and I cringe. But I just glad that you have the one friend. But I'm sure you have a lot more friends, Keith, in us, but you don't maximize your relationship with us. Good friends is that when you call me and you need me for something, I'm going to say, why not?
Yeah.
Right? So I just want to remind you that I'm your friend.
Oh, yeah.
Even though you think Rosie's cuter, I'm like, I think I'm a better friend than Rosie.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rosie?
That's why I said, Julie, September 9th, at the Rec Room, I need friends.
Yay. So we're inviting more people over.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Right. So, what does it mean for you to have a friend like Keith, to be helping each other? And I hear Keith always talking about, you're always stepping down to let him shine. But what I really believe is that the sky is so immense and so large that we can all shine, right?
Yeah, I think that's a really amazing statement, and I think that it's important too, because a lot of times other comedians are really competitive and they don't want to help each other, but I think that it's a community and we all need to help each other in comedy or whatever you're doing. If you're a doctor or a nurse, another doctor isn't going to dim your light.
Is there not another doctor in comedy?
I'm not really a doctor! You're silly.
I'm starting a new rumor, right, Keith?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, after the commercial break, we're going to invite them over to the Rec Room on the 9th at 7 p.m. Like we said, wake up earlier and come out. Julie cảm ơn quý vị khán giả ở Little Saigon TV đã theo dõi chương trình Kiến thức y khoa gia đình và xã hội. Hôm nay chúng tôi nói về laughter as medicine. Cười vui là một cái sức và là giống như cái thuốc viên thuốc mà rất là có hiệu quả cho mình có cái sức khỏe tâm thần. So Julie hy vọng quý vị có để dành thời gian ngày thứ Sáu, ngày 9 tháng 9 lúc 7 giờ tối at the Rec Room in Huntington Beach, kế bên Golden West College. Julie hy vọng quý vị có thời gian tới tham dự. Chứ nào mình không có hiểu tiếng Việt Nam, tiếng Anh xin lỗi, thì quý vị cũng tới để ủng hộ mấy bạn trẻ đây, cho họ tiếp tục được làm cái công việc đây để cho giúp nhiều người hơn. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả Little Saigon TV.
Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. Today on our show, we're reminding you guys that laughter is the best medicine. I would rather go to a comedy show than take another antidepressant pill.
Right.
You know, so I just want to say thank you guys for being on the show, to laugh with me and let me get out of, being my little public figure persona and just getting be myself again. I think that's what laughter has done for me. It's allowing me to love my autism, to make fun of my autism, but also, fake it if I need to. And I love that flexibility, Keith, that I can look normal and I can act as autistic as I want to be and not really ever having to hide anymore. So I just want to say thank you, Rosie, for making sure that people like me and all of our community will continue to stay healthy. What does it mean to you to be able to be the medicine and a pivotal point of some of us who are down and out?
I think it's really, really important, and I think it's really important for me too, and Keith, we talked about it, that we also suffer from depression. And so looking at it like that, so there was a time where I saw comedy as a medicine for me. So I want to get laughs from the audience. But that was a bad thing, because if the audience didn't laugh or I had a bad show, I'd feel really depressed.
Okay.
And so now I look at it like I'm the medicine and I'm bringing people laughter. And sometimes people love me and they really enjoy my show, and sometimes people don't, and that's okay, because I'm here to bring joy and bring laughter and help people. And if they don't get me, then that's on them. But I hope they do.
Well, I love that you have that confidence and that self-love. And I think part of depression is people not understanding how beautiful they are and how smart they are and how amazingly charming and sexy Keith is. And I think that's the thing, Keith, too, is that, all joking aside, I think you're a beautiful human being. And I think you're a handsome man, no matter what shape and form you choose at your given time. So I just want to say, and I want to learn from you, is how has laughter helped you in your journey of self-love and being more successful in every day that you do this?
Oh, wow, that is a tough question. Laughter just helps me be more positive, and like one of the things I really like doing is I like making other people laugh. Sometimes if it's if I'm the butt of the joke or whatever, I'll still take it, because it's just such a great feeling. It's like winning $1 million, right? And you win $1 million and you're like, oh my God, I'm a millionaire, right? But you don't have any actual money. So it's like that, but with laughter, you could be like, oh my God, I made all these people laugh. You know why? Because I'm a laughinaire.
But see, people don't understand the value of that, Keith.
Yeah.
For me, I always remind people that, to me, my currency isn't money. I can make as much as I want. I can quit OC autism and quit the struggle.
Yeah.
Or I can get a real job, that my husband calls it. But it's not where I feel most valued, you know. And I think that's what you remind us, Keith, that money isn't your currency.
Yeah.
Laughinaire is your currency. As to me, you guys are my currency.
Yeah.
The friendship that I establish in my community work, the relationship that I can establish, the phone number that I can collect and call and say, hey, I'm having a bad day, you want to do something? Or just someone who's not going to judge me.
Right.
So I think that's one thing that our show, hopefully today, remind people that, establish relationship, come together, and come together on the 9th.
September
9th.
Yeah.
At the Rec Room, 2022.
22. Yes.
Yeah. How do you say that in Vietnamese?
2022.
We write it the same.
Yeah.
Một lần nữa Julie muốn cảm ơn quý vị khán giả đã theo dõi chương trình hôm nay. Julie có mời được Rosie Tran. Rosie Tran là một người comedian rất là nổi tiếng trong cộng đồng. Cũng có cái show trên NBC Peacock, cho nên quý vị có thời gian download cái đó. Đó là cái chương trình đây là free. Keith cũng có một cái show on YouTube. Đó là kêu what is it called again? Your show?
Make It Happen.
Make It Happen. Cho nên quý vị type lên cái chữ là Keith Raza, là KEITHREZA. And then Make It Happen ở trên YouTube có một cái show của Keith. Keith nói là it will be re-released, thì các quý vị vẫn có được xem một lần nữa. Rosie hôm nay nhắc quý vị đó là lúc mà mình có laughter, mình cười, mình vui, mình gặp nhau, đó là cái sức khỏe của mình để cho mình được có cái niềm vui với có kết bạn nhiều hơn nữa. And then Keith nói đó là Keith là không phải là millionaire, là không phải là có 1 triệu đâu, mà là laughinaire. Laughinaire là ý là Keith nói đó là cái tiền bạc không có giá trị cho Keith, mà thiệt ra làm người khác vui, làm cho Keith vui là đó là cái purpose của Keith. So I didn't know how to say purpose, Keith, but you're going to translate that for me.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah.
I'll transfer.
Okay, yeah. But again, thank you so much for being on the show and for coming back on the show.
Oh.
I'm not sure why the producer said yes, but you're back.
Well, thank you. I appreciate Mr. Producer.
Now, if you want to send a message to our audience today, what would that be as we close the program today?
Oh, well, my message is just be positive and, every single day just smile, because you never know your smile, how it might affect others. And also, if you're on the cellular phone, you should buy tickets to the Rec Room with me and Rosie Tran.
Thank you. And now the tickets, Rosie, can we buy it at the door, or do you only do you recommend buying ahead of time?
I would recommend pre-sale because we might
Right.
sell out, but if you want to buy at the
It's
door,
not gonna might sell. It's going to sell out,
Yeah.
right?
yes, and check us out on our social media as well. So
I always buy it ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I often buy multiple, thinking that I might convince somebody to be my friend for a day. I buy friendship,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as I get older, Keith, my autism is still my autism.
Yeah.
But now I have the money to buy some friends.
That's
So
true.
that's what I would recommend. If the audience wants to come to the show, they can buy 10 tickets and find 9 people to just be their friend for just a few hours,
Yeah.
right?
That would be a cool, app, dating app, but it would be like a friend app.
Friend app.
Like, hey, I need a friend on Friday, September 9th. What should I do? And then they match with you. And you
Isn't
say,
that
hey,
illegal? Is this like escort service?
No. And then they match, not at all. And then they match with you and you say, hey, I'm going to the Rec Room to see Rosie Tran and Keith Raza. You want to come? And they'd be like, sure. And yeah.
Yep. Great idea.
Rent a friend.
rent a friend.
Rent a friend. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for coming on to the show. I'm going to invite the guests one more time to come to the event.
Yeah.
Một lần nữa, Julie hy vọng gặp quý vị ngày xin lỗi, thứ Sáu, ngày 9 tháng 9, lúc 7 giờ tối at the Rec Room in Huntington Beach. Julie phải có mặt ở đó, chứ đây là 2 người bạn của Julie, thì Julie phải tới ủng hộ. Chứ nào Julie không có ủng hộ thì chắc không có còn bạn nữa. Mà Julie thấy đó là lúc mà Julie nhỏ là Julie có hiện tại vẫn cũng có tự kỷ, mà cái tự kỷ của Julie ảnh hưởng Julie rất nhiều. Thì nhỏ tới high school Julie cũng không có bạn, đi học college cũng không có bạn, mà bây giờ đó mình có chút tiền thì mình lấy cái tiền đó mình mua thêm vé, thì hy vọng được mượn vài người, cái người bữa đó được làm bạn của mình, phải không? Mượn bạn. Mà Keith nói đó là khi nào quý vị có khả năng làm một cái app để cho rent a friend, là mướn cái người bạn cho một ngày thôi, phải không Keith? You think that's a good idea?
Exactly. It's a great
Right.
idea.
Yeah, I'm sorry I said in Vietnamese that it was your part.
No.
Okay.
You did it great.
Okay.
Okay. I wouldn't change a thing.
Okay. Well, in closing, if you want to say thank you to the audience and remind them one more time where to be on the 9th.
Oh, well, I thank you, audience. And you should be at the Rec Room in Huntington Beach on September 9th at 6:30 p.m. to see Dr. Rosie Tran.
Thank you. Yeah, and just tell them it's a free exam.
Yeah.
Now, Rosie, what would you like to say to our audience
I
as we
just wanted to
close?
say thank you so much for having us. It was a great
Aw.
time, and it sounds like Julie Yip is going to have a stand-up comedy career soon.
Oh, no. I'm just too busy.
Yeah.
You made us laugh, and it's really hard to make comedians laugh.
Oh, well, thank you, Rosie, for really reminding us Vietnamese Americans, and Keith for reminding all of Vietnamese Americans in the community that, you know, comedy is a career, comedy is a purpose, and comedy is medicine. So I know that our show today will at least brighten one person's, you know, day, because as you said, Keith, there's 4 people now here. And so I hope to see you guys again soon. But if you need me to sell merch, or actually we can make merch, let me know. Because OC Autism, we have 3 pillars: educate, empower, and employ. So we're actually trying to create jobs and opportunities for people on the spectrum.
Oh.
And that can also be making merch for you guys. So let us know if you need any help.
That'd be
Okay. Well, Julie, cảm ơn quý vị khán giả ở Little Saigon TV đã theo dõi chương trình hôm nay. Julie hôm nay cười rất là nhiều, và tại mình có 2 cái người bạn mình thương mến với mình, muốn luôn luôn ủng hộ cho họ vẫn tiếp tục làm cái việc as a comedian. Nếu quý vị có thời gian thì please tới tham dự và ủng hộ bạn. Đó là ngày 9 tháng 9 lúc 7 giờ tối at Huntington Beach Rec Room, kế bên Golden West College or Golden West Swap Meet. Julie luôn luôn cảm ơn quý vị khán giả đã ủng hộ chương trình, và hy vọng gặp lại tuần tới. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả Little Saigon TV.